Hi, I'm Sean. We're going to do some Qigong today. It's the year of the fire horse, so it could be an exciting year for many people out there. So just going to show you a couple exercises just to kind of ground things out a little bit for a little bit of balance, okay? Start with just a little bit of a warm-up here, okay? So I'm just going to do it's called 10 dragons going through the forest, where you just kind of take your fingertips and just kind of go here. If your hair allows you to do something like this, you just brushing through, brushing through, brushing through. Okay, then I'm just going to brush down my arm. Okay, brushing down my arm. Okay, I'm going to brush down the other arm. I'm going to brush down my legs. Okay, I'm just brush down, 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 brush down. You can do it again if you want to. Brush down, brush down, brush down, brush down, brush down. If you need a little bit more, something a little bit more invigorating, you can do a little bit of a slap body here, where we're just going to take your hands. You can start from your top and just kind of knock on your head a little bit here. Gently, gently, don't hurt yourself. Okay, then you can do the same thing kind of the back again, where we were up at the top before, doing that. And then we can get our low back, as we were doing before. Just kind of putting it together. Then we're going to go up to our shoulder and just kind of go down. Striking, now you can strike with an open palm like I'm doing here, or you can use a closed fist. There we go. Just waking up the body, waking up the channels here. And you generally do it about, three on the outer arm, 3 on the inner arm, kind of working your way in. Generally speaking, about five total, 5 or 6 total. Okay. And you do the same thing, just kind of get your glute a little bit and kind of go down, 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 down. And come up. And we do it 3 times. Try to get different parts of your legs in each pass. Getting more towards the back or more towards the front, whichever way you started. Just work your way around. And then, I got my mic on, so I'm going to be very gently just kind of go around my chest area and coming down to the stomach and just kind of working my way out. Okay. You can do that a couple times if you want to, and you come to the back and just kind of get the back and around your waist. Okay, so I'm going to show you some spinal breathing. That's the name of this exercise I learned from Joy Black many years ago. Okay, so we're in our good kind of Wuji posture here. Roll our shoulders back, slight pelvic tilt, slight bend in our knees here. And okay, so you're just kind of here. Okay, and so what we're going to do here is we're just going to lift our arms and just kind of open up, and we breathe in and we exhale. As we're exhaling, we're letting our toes kind of grip the ground. Inhaling, exhaling. Okay, inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. So we're letting our spine kind of curve forward as we do this, and then we're letting it kind of straighten up as we stretch our chest, okay? Something similar, if you actually have arm issues, is you can just basically just let your spine collapse. So this is kind of more like human posture. Then you kind of collapse more like a turtle. Like you go down, and you come back up. Breathe in, and as you exhale, collapse into a turtle. If you don't have a lot of space where you're at, this could be a good movement you could do. You have a very small, office, or, you just can't move your arms that much. This is something you could do as well. I learned this movement from a guy named Larry out in San Francisco, Larry Wong. He's a Tai Chi and Qigong teacher. Okay. And then, we can just add the arms back in. So we come back in, open up, and close. So we up and close. Tuck your chin in if you like when you come up. And then just let it go down. Inhale, exhale. Okay. All right, I'm going to move on to the next movement now. Okay. The next movement is called deep earth pulsing. Okay, I learned to get this again from Joy Black when I was learning a form called primordial Qigong. Okay, and it's they use it as part of their warm up. Okay. All right, so you know, I used to be in the Army, so you can actually start with a little bit of like what we used to call marking time. So you can bring your legs in a little bit if you want to here, and we're just going to go and, you know, we're just going to kind of pulsing on our feet here, just kind of moving them back and forth like we're kind of walking in place or marching in pace. Okay, and your hands are just loose. We're loose here. Okay. Okay, so this is a good one, just a way to start, just kind of like just get back in touch with your feet, get back in touch with the ground, and you can slow yourself down as you're doing that, and just feeling, you know, your toes move and just different parts of your feet move as you're just kind of getting back in touch or back in tune with the earth below you. Okay. Okay. And do that as long as you want. And if you could come out just a little bit more, okay, for not quite into like a deep horse stance, but just to give you a little bit of space here, and you can kind of sink a little further as you're doing it, getting the knees involved a little bit, getting the hips involved, where you're kind of hinging a little bit, just kind of sitting down a little bit as you do it, like a deeper movement. Okay, okay. And then, you know, Joy's teacher, you know, she, Michael Winn, she had me watch his video during the training, okay? And he would say, like, you're actually, you're kind of sending your attention down into the earth, like you're trying to kind of tap into the core of the earth, you know, like it's a very, like, grounding type exercise. Of course, that's a long way to go, so you can just be like, you know, you just kind of send your intention just very gently beneath you, like into the ground, you know, like some other forms would do things like tree roots, things like that, or you know, calm a light down or things like that. You know, whatever visualization you like, you know, just kind of tap into the earth below you, however you like. And of course, you can then slow it down, just kind of sink in as you're going down. Then we add the arms, okay? So I'm going to stop it here as we go. So we stop here, so as we add the arms, so as this leg, our left leg goes up, our left arm goes up as well. And then it goes downward as they both go down, and you alternate going up, foot and arm, and down together, okay? And you alternate. You know, Joy, you know, would say, you know, like it's all about the downbeat, you know, and I think Michael says that on his video too, where they say it's all about the downward motion. You know, don't worry about the rising up. You know, there's plenty of that in the world right now. You can just focus on grounding and going down below. And how I think about it is like you're beating the drum, like you're beating the drum of the earth. You know, as your hand goes down, you're kind of hitting that drum together with your foot. You know, you can add that to your visualization if you like. And your shoulder, you know, your hand doesn't go above your shoulder, so it's beneath it. So it's all about, again, it's all about the downward movement. And I'll put a link in the description to Michael's video so you can reference him as well. Okay. And we can do this like for several minutes actually, you know. And it's also a great exercise for your hips and your knees, and so you can think about that. So you know, you can focus on different things when you're doing on Qigong. You can just focus on the movement of your body and feeling things loosen as you do it, you know, or you could even focus on just your breathing, having a nice relaxed breath as you do it. Now the in and out breath, it doesn't matter at this point. It's just you breathe naturally. You can breathe through your nose, breathe through your mouth, either or. Okay, you know, breathing through your nose was thought to be, you know, strengthening, you know, and your mouth was thought to be more sedating or calming. And then you could split the difference by, you know, breathing like in your nose, out your mouth. And that's more like regulating or harmonizing, okay? Again, you can do this as long as you want, okay? And a good way to, I mean, you know, this could be enough for you to end. You could just end with this exercise if you want to. But if you needed more to just feel a bit more back into yourself, you can do a pointing down the sky where your hands are at your side. You breathe in, hands come up. Salute the earth, salute the sky, salute yourself. Okay? Again, the earth, salute the sky, salute yourself. Okay? You know, you can do several of these if you want, you know, 8, 9, but you know, 3 is good to end. You know, just do 3 if you want to. I'll do a couple more so you just get the idea of what I'm doing here. You know, kind of feeling the energy of the earth, feeling the warmth of the sky, and bringing it back in and through you. Feel the energy of the earth, the warmth of the sky, down through you. Let's do one more. Coolness of the earth, sky, and down through us. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe.